Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make this really creamy Instant Pot 15-minute pasta. Somehow I managed to forget to film the part where I was adding the spices, onion and garlic and oil. I'm sorry about that, but the full recipe is listed below. And as you can see, I also added tomatoes. These are about 7 ripe sliced up tomatoes. You're gonna stir that around, and I'm also adding 1 heaped teaspoon of spicy paprika paste. Any spicy sauce will do. I'm also adding 1/4 cup of water. Then I'm gonna let it simmer with the lid on top. Once it's kind of boiled down, you're gonna add your pasta. Also gonna add 1/4 cup of creamer. Obviously this is a vegan creamer. You could also sub this for unsweetened almond milk. And I also added some spinach leaves because that just gives it that extra green boost that I like. I promise this is a really good dish. It's really nice for those weekdays where you're just running low on time and don't want to put in a lot of effort but want something comforting. In this second recipe, I'm going to show you how to make this crispy, sweet and spicy tofu. I'm gonna wrap my tofu in a cloth. This is gonna allow the excess water to come off. I highly recommend you do this when you're preparing tofu because, you know, when it's just too soggy, it's gonna have a hard time absorbing the flavors and also get crisp. So I'm also adding a tablespoon of sesame oil, a tablespoon of agave syrup, and a tablespoon of sriracha. This will do for half a cube of tofu, which I'm preparing right now because I'm just making it for myself. But if you would want to make the whole cube, you're gonna double the recipe. I also added some garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then I stirred that to combine. Cut up the tofu. As you can tell, this is an easy way to slice up your tofu. And then when that's ready, you're gonna add that to the marinade. And I recommend you let it sit for, well, 30 minutes. If you're in a rush, you can skip that. If you're not in a rush, however, I recommend you let it sit even longer. It's just the best way to marinate tofus, to allow the flavors to really get to the core of the tofu. Man, that's starting to sound really intense right now. So anyways, this is a good dish. And then I paired this with some miso glazed mushrooms, which is also really simple to make. You're just gonna add a teaspoon of miso paste to a bowl and also add some sesame oil, stir that around, and then bake your mushrooms in that sauce. So I served this with some mashed avocado, white rice, lettuce, and I promise it's absolutely yummy. Hope you guys like these recipes, and if you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you'll keep updated on any other recipe videos coming.